In 2025, one simple idea took root: to give India's local business owners, creators, and dreamers a voice that would echo far beyond their city limits. I'm Kabir. People say I'm honest, soft hearted, maybe even a little old school in my values, but I believe in something timeless: the power of human stories to inspire action. That's why I started Kabir Vani Business Edition podcast.
Welcome, Srinivasan ji, on
Hi.
Kabir Vani podcast. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm fine.
I'm glad. So you are into a business of outdoor advertising, right? Tell me a little bit about outdoor advertising. Now, Adhya Creation is the company name of yours, right? And being in the outdoor industry, outdoor advertising industry, at a world of digital age, right? How are you handling it? Tell me a little bit more about it.
First of all, we introduce ourselves as India's oldest outdoor advertising agency, a specialized outdoor advertising agency who handles all above the line activities, below the line activities on for only an outdoor platform. Outdoor basically involves hoardings, malls, airport, corporate parks, society activation, buses, bus stops, trains, railway publicity. So anything that you see on the road. So there's a saying, घर से निकलते ही कुछ दूर चलते ही. So once that song, it actually suits our outdoor.
Wow, you just made a jingle for your company. Very, very cool. Yeah, so foot machinery, that is what that you talk about. Tell me, that's the song that you're talking about.
Yeah. So I'll just say, Adya Creations formerly was known as Sovereign Advertising and Marketing Service, and Sovereign is India's oldest outdoor advertising agency that I spoke of. So we are a second generation businessman. So dad was the first one to have started this. He had a vision saying that पहले लोग बोलते थे these are boards, board पे painting होता है, those kind of work. But he was the first guy to aggregate those boards. Owners could be different, but he started understanding how many owners are there, how to position that as an agency. So that is where it all started. And then when we were told to start this business, I was told that you need to be on the road all the time to know the traffics, the angle in which the hoarding is seen, the amount of crowd or people that is been seen at a particular junction. So हम लोग जब data निकालते थे initially. So we used to walk down from, if I can talk about my experience somewhere in 1999, myself and my set of team, we used to walk down from Marine Drive, go every distance, check out कौन से बस shelter पे क्या लगा हुआ है, hoardings में क्या लगे हैं, what is the distance between each of these mediums, and at different hours of the day, कितना ट्रैफिक वहाँ पे होता है, what kind of vehicles go through, और वो particular hoarding रोड से कितने दूर है, कितने हाइट पर है, और either it is seen by the driver of the vehicle or it is seen by the passenger sitting behind the vehicle, ये सारा चीज़ हम देखते थे. So when we speak about, at one point we knew about the speed breakers of the city also.
Wow.
And this, when we speak, we don't speak about one city, we speak across 900 towns.
Wow. Okay. So it's like, okay. So let's go back to the second generation thought, right? Now you come from a second generation. When your father had started this, of course, the digital part was not that big, right? I think that was the whole new thing. Billboard and those. This was like a static thing at that point of time, completely. Now, and I think wo zamane mein it was more where they were painting it as well. I think printing bhi shayad nahi tha, right?
It was like a painting happening by a set of people. The artist needed to be very good because if it's a figure happening on the paint, then the face has to come out well. So the transition has been on the ground from, say, hoarding, a small board, painting, lit, backlit. Now backlit gets into rolling displays, and now we have digital ad space happening. And from the communication point of view,
we'll get there a little bit ahead. So let me ask you the evolution that you were explaining the earlier, right? About how from static ad to now digital and everything. So please tell me a little bit about it.
Previously, it was more about putting up a display, flex displays, and reporting to the client. Reporting used to take time by clicking photographs, Kodak at that point of time, developing it late. So there was a lot of lag time in reporting and when the display was done. So the measure of the visibility for the period duration of work was a little compromised because it used to take a lot of time. So currently, we are reporting through WhatsApp on the group, instant information. So I've seen trunk calls to STDs, to direct phones, to pagers, to mobile, and now WhatsApp.
Correct.
So the reporting transition has been good. Again, because the infrastructure, the travel time has reduced between the cities. So the artwork and whatever data that is being stored, and you can print that, you can decentralize the printing. Those things have come up very fast. So this I'm talking for static media.
Right.
Now, in terms of the digital space, it's a digital world, and the younger generation is all about making it look jazzy.
Of course.
Personally, I'm not a little convinced on the fact that digital ad just give you that buzz, but the digital ad doesn't give you that recall or retention power.
Okay.
Because my belief is, if one thing is moving, the other thing has to be static. So if you see 4 platforms, like a TV, the TV screen is moving and you're sitting and watching. Okay?
Right.
Or on internet, you are watching the YouTube.
Correct.
Okay, or you go to an airport, you just stand and the translate moves or something like that. So, or else if you go in a car, if it's a static medium, there's a retention power. But if both are moving, then you just see something is on, but it's not worth it.
You'll just get a glimpse of it.
Yeah,
like your
yeah.
subconscious mind is catching it, but not really your eyes. Okay.
And second point is, with Indian system, we have to penetrate in 900 towns. If I only talk about Airport Road or Mumbai or Bangalore MG Road, or say Connaught Place in Delhi, example. So that is not advertising. That is more or less for making people understand, okay, there's a new innovation that has happened or something has happened.
Maybe just like a visibility.
Visibility part, and you create a viral out of it by putting it in YouTube or using the digital media to reach out. But inner towns where electricity is still a challenge, so you need to have static mediums in place. So I feel out of these 4 platforms, okay, with all respect to all the platforms, outdoor media is a out and out advertising medium.
Okay. Now, but when you're talking about outdoor media, right? So let's say, for example, you're talking about, like, let's say we could talk about Band Road, Airport Road, or Andheri Jew Circle, which is like few of the ones which is really packed, right? Now again, like, the cost of putting them up, even the static ones are so expensive. How do you really generate that, how many people are actually looking for it, if you're even getting the visibility that you want, and that it's worth putting so much money into it?
So when you talk about bigger mediums right now, it's more for branding. It's more for the stakeholders who are investing into that business. Because when you get into the sale part of it, because outdoor media as such is divided for 4 activities. One is either you do it for branding, or you do it for sales, or you do it for launching a product, or retaining your market share when a new product is coming in, or increase your sale position, or get into an IPO. So these are 4-5 aspects for which outdoor is being used. So when the tender cost is high, each vendor owns a particular space, unless it is an MSRDC or an MMRDA or a BMC tendered site or railway tendered site. Individual costings are there. So there are a lot of taxation part involved in it, because the cost is very high. Okay, so that's why people have started dividing that into 4 different clients and putting a digital space into it.
Okay.
So when you use that, it's more about that particular medium remains in the place for 30 days. Okay, so 30 days, and 30 days is a big time, because for TV it's 10 seconds or 30 seconds. For a newspaper it is आज का पेपर कल के रद्दी है. So again, when you see the first page and the 3rd page or 5th page, and then get into the sports channel. So as I said, the respect is there for all the people, because they're all about circulation and viewership. But in outdoor, as I said, it's out and out product and service solely into advertising. So it's worth the brand activity.
Correct. Okay.
So एक बड़े समुंदर में मछली नहीं है, हम छोटे तालाब के मगरमच्छ हैं. So in that particular area, for whoever travels that area place has to go through and see that place.
I understand. Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense the way you explained it anyways. Now, I'll ask you a few questions about, because you said there were trains, there were trains, then there were hoardings, and there were digital ads, right? Which would give the maximum exposure, and which will be the most reasonable?
Trains would be reasonable, because again, it depends on target segment. Those target segments are lower middle class and people at consumer levels. FMCG products and day-to-day buying things are better used in railway platform and stations. And the hoardings are for bigger brands, people who want to get into valuation game, people who want to get foreign companies getting into mergers and acquisitions. So those are better off over there. Or even in, for example, if an Amazon Prime or any other client,
Any OTT
Netflix, any
platforms.
OTT platforms, they need counter medium to promote themselves. So those are there. Again, these generally when you talk about hoardings, I'm not referring to only Mumbai. These are for decision makers who are between 35 to 50, owning up cars, traveling those areas. Okay, and for younger generation where they just go into a MACD or something, you have digital platforms, you have these kind of buses or mediums which are mobile traveling. Now, one more aspect to get into the outdoor media, एक है कि आप जाते हो ट्रैफिक में और आप होर्डिंग देखते हो. Now we are coming to your place. Like we are putting up lifts displays in your societies,
Oh, is that
corporate parks. There are displays in the clubs, gymkhanas, race courses. There are a lot of mediums that have been put up. So हम अभी आपके एरिया में आ रहे हैं.
Okay.
Saloons, spas. So everything that you see on the road, other than sitting at home, is an outdoor.
I'm really happy about the fact that you have explained how the train and the ads would work like, and who would it be for. Because कभी-कभी ऐसा लगता था कि एक thought process आता है कि ये लोग लगाते ही क्यों है, spending so much amount of money, and then sometimes you think in your head is like ये investor का पैसा है उड़ा रहे. But now the way you explained it makes so much more sense that every ad has its own concept.
One I could also speak about is something of the past of 2002 or 3. I'll give a small story.
Yeah, please.
प्रभा देवी मंदिर के सामने आप एक बड़ा बिलबोर्ड देखोगे जो वर्टिकल लेवल पर है, पेट्रोल पंप के ऊपर. उसकी एक स्टोरी है. So I had a client. I was mentioning about Mr. Rajinder, right? So he was servicing Nestle at that point of time, and Nestle wanted to do something unique in Mumbai. So they asked us what is the proposal. So we had a small hoarding in that building of 30 by 20. So it's a Rishikesh apartment. So they were doing painting and scaffolding was on. So we went to the society. We told them, आपको ये scaffolding में अगर हम ऊपर से एक फ्लेक्स लगवा देंगे तो आपको पैसा भी मिलेगा, सोसाइटी का पेंटिंग का पैसा भी कम हो जाएगा. Then they had to go through that AGBM, AGM, whatever stories that was there. Yeah, right. Finally they said ठीक है. Then we went to the client, proposed. अब दोनों ने तो हाँ कर दिया. बट अभी परमिशन कैसे ले आरटीओ से? बिकॉज यू जस्ट सी 20 meters फ्रॉम देयर यू हैव अ सी, और सी का जो विंड आता है वो इतना स्ट्रांग है. एंड आप अगर एक बाम्बू पे अगर फ्लेक्स लगाओगे और ऊपर से जब आप छोड़ोगे टेरेस से नीचे, तो वो फ्लेक्स पूरा घूमते रहेगा. नीचे पेट्रोल पंप है, मूविंग ट्रैफिक है. सो इट्स नॉट अ वेरी इजी, इट्स अ रिस्की थिंग. और ये चीज हमने इतना एंटिसिपेट नहीं किया था व्हेन वी हैड गॉट द प्रपोजल. देन व्हेन वी वेंट टू द अथॉरिटीज, they said you have to take certain precautions. They did give us supportive time, RTOs, and we put it up. और वो पर्टिकुलर 3 दिन हमारे लिए 4 दिन ऐसा नाइटमेयर था to fix up things and then be there to see. और उसके बाद नेस्ले said we want this for 1 year. अब वो परमानेंट तो हो नहीं सकता क्योंकि पेट. Then we went to the authorities again. We then had to convince all the 3 parties. और आज उस प्रॉपर्टी को कितने 20 साल हो गए और अभी भी है वो. राइट नाउ इट्स नॉट विद अस, इट्स विद सम अदर वेंडर, बट वी वर द फर्स्ट वन
who initiated it.
And through ratings of the bigger agencies, it was rated as the 7th best hoarding at that point of time for more than 5 years.
Wow.
और उस टाइम पे वर्ली सीफेस नहीं था, so all the western route had to go through Prabhadevi Canal Road.
So many people saw it, and many people during the day saw it. Wow.
So that one thing remains, because जब आप रियली मेहनत करते हो ना और उसके बाद क्लाइंट सिर्फ एक गुड जॉब बोलता है ना, तो हमको लगता है भाई सारा मेहनत
वसूल है. I completely agree. There's so much of the hard work that you had to do back in days. Now, if I have to ask you, अगर हम पता है जब भी सीलिंग से वापस आते हैं and then we are traveling towards going अंधेरी or Bandra, right? छोटे-छोटे वो displays आ गए and they're like hardly कुछ 3 seconds, 5 seconds या 6 seconds के कुछ होते हैं. What do you think about them? Like how worth are they to put your ads into it?
It's worthy to be present in that area, but again, as I told you, what is the purpose? Either it is for recall or reminder or for sales. Definitely not for sales. So if it is, अगर किसी chairman को खुश करना है तो बात अलग है. But at the same time, static media is always a preferred media. Okay. And if you have multiple small ads coming like a kiosk or small boards, then still it is worth, because when you are traveling in that 10 to 20 seconds, you are bound to see 5 to 6 displays together.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, but as I mentioned previously, two moving things, recall value is not very good.
It's less, okay. So let's say if I have to put just Kabirwani podcast details there, how would that work? Would that be valuable or no?
That should be valuable to tell the market that I have arrived.
I am right, okay.
Yeah. So it's a statement.
Mm.
It's a statement. So when you have huge hoardings and you put up one big site, it's like telling the entire Mumbai crowd. We are talking Mumbai specific, but when we speak about all India, there will be one junction in every city which will be the most premium.
Right.
And if people decide to put one hoarding in that particular city, then it's like a statement that we have arrived.
Correct.
Yeah. And some brands wouldn't want to get associated with the trains or the buses or the rickshaws or the smaller ones.
Correct.
Although they are for the masses, but they would want to only cater to, in terms of the advertisement, they will cater to only one premiumness.
Understood. Okay. So it's there as long as you just want to create visibility.
But I would suggest Kabir to first come up in the airport.
Yeah,
absolutely. All chairmen and MDs must watch it.
Watch it. Yeah, absolutely. That too. And I was also thinking somehow, because I was traveling through metro and I saw that the metro had the thing as well. I was like, okay, you know what? I wouldn't mind putting my display there as well, because there's so many youngsters there and there's so many business people traveling through the Western Line metro. So यहाँ पर भी लगाना है.
Metro is a good ad, because metro have the way they have done the printing and the maintenance part of it, it's excellent.
Let's say if somebody comes to you and talks about they want to go for a train, perforated advertising or any of the details there, how much would that cost them? Approximate. You don't have to give the exact detail, but how much would they want to spend there for a metro? For a metro.
Metro is basically a tendered medium with a bigger organization.
Okay.
So they have their rate cards. So if it depends on the duration, if for 1 month, 3 months, or 6 months, or 1 year.
Okay.
So again, it is a full package of how many metros you're taking.
Oh, achha, so it's not just that one train you have to. It goes everywhere. Okay.
You can take it, but it's like then if people expect results, then they have to be present more.
Correct.
So yeah, so if you are taking about two or three or four, minimum 5 metros or stuff like that, so the visibility is very high.
Okay. And what is the approximate range that you should expect?
It all depends on the tender cost. It could range between 15 to 20 lakhs.
Okay. And that's for the month?
Yeah, that's for the month. Yeah. And sometimes it's negotiable based on availability also.
Okay. I mean, they have it empty, they might as well give it out.
No, yes. Again, when it is empty, it all depends on the holding capacity of the party. But we would nobody does that because they don't want to send signals in the market that it is available at a lesser rate.
So it's like you have to be at that right time at the right place kind of thing.
Okay. So 15-20 lakhs should be a good budget, or maybe around 20-25 lakhs for minimum 3, 4, 5 metros. Okay. But things do change as and when it exchanges hands. So
there's some kind of negotiation can be there. And how about a static board?
Static board in Mumbai ranges from around 1.5 lakhs to around 40 lakhs, 50 lakhs per month.
Per month, okay. That can go from 40-50 lakhs a month. Wow, okay.
But I have been in outdoors, so it's more about people relation. It's more about individual vendors having to shell out their money to maintain that particular site. Okay. It's again, if I have to tell you about a particular case of ours, when we used to have more than 400 hoardings across India and more than 30 hoardings in Mumbai, there was a hoarding of 80 by 20 we used to sell at 20-25 lakhs. And just about 50 meters ahead, we used to sell 30 by 20 at 3.5 lakhs. Okay, so just 30 meters ahead, same city. On paper, if you sit and plan, you will say, oh, okay, location same, city same, landmark same, but only the distance is this. But that 24 lakhs hoarding used to be booked for 1 year, and that 3.5 lakhs hoardings used to be booked for 3 to 4 months max.
Okay.
Because when you have a bigger format, the smaller format immediately just loses sight.
I understood. That makes a lot of sense.
So people who know, they would pay the right figure to know that they want to be there.
They want to be there. I completely understand that. And let me bring this to your personal side a little bit right now, because you being into the outdoor environment, right? You have seen so many of the times where the economy has crashed. You have seen the Lehman Brothers, you have seen the bank failures, and I think the worst one would be COVID, because चलो Lehman Brothers में and bank failure में you were still able to go out, you were still able to do your work, but COVID, whether you're not even able to go out anymore, and COVID where digital world took over.
Absolutely.
So how did you manage that?
So if I have to talk, probably my dad used to always tell me, if you're doing business for about 30 years, 35 years, which you should, because you have to stay the course, you will be definitely going through 3 recessions. Okay, so that stayed in my mind. So the first recession was 2009, Lehman Brothers, because we did excellently well between 2002 to 2008. Those 6 years, probably after my marriage, recession gave me one good perspective personally. After 5 years of marriage, I went to Lonavala for 2 days. So when you're doing well in life, you're so busy only doing things. Okay. So from 2002 to 2008, we grew from 1 hoarding to almost 473 hoardings in India.
Wow.
And everything was getting retendered. By about 2008, March, April, things were getting retendered, railway sites. So once people think, oh, itna costly hoarding hai, to kitna paisa bana tha. The point is not that. The point is the tender cost are very high for the railways. And 1 year license, 1 year ka aapka deposit dena, then monthly cost. So we participated in the tender for railways and other sites and got all the sites back, say by September 2008. And suddenly November के बाद सारा booking cancel हो गया. And believe me, our booking was just 1 hoarding in that 473. I still remember Navi Mumbai, Shivaji Chowk, 40 by 20 Hyundai. That was the only display that we had for 2 months, and all the sites got down.
Wow.
वो 5 months में हमारा we learned how things just go overnight.
Correct.
Then in 2013, our bank collapsed. We were in a cooperative bank. It collapsed. So these were things which are not in our control. And then finally, that you spoke about COVID. COVID mein, the first thing is don't go out. Means outdoor is gone. Don't go into the mall. So mall displays are out. Airport is shut. So जब बंदा बाहर ही नहीं जाएगा, so there is no advertising happening. So client payments are delayed. 1. 2 is government has very clearly said we need to create awareness for COVID, and so all displays must come down and only COVID displays must be there. So and again there was a period of uncertainty. So you could say that from a 15-floor building we came down to B2. Yeah, but because that stayed in my mind, कि you need to stay the course, and third recession अब खत्म हो रहा है.
हाँ. So you're good now. Now up से up trend ही है खाली. Very, very true. I respect that because when it comes to this particular aspect of life, many business had failed during the time of COVID. And I'm glad, and especially outdoor businesses. And I feel that, your thought process was, my dad told me that the third recession will is over. Now you have I think now I know why you're still sustained and others could not. So kudos to you there, I want to ask you about Adhya Creation. There are so many people out there who do advertising, outdoor advertising. What makes you different?
This I would speak about post-COVID. One is when we talk to the client and we understand what is their challenges. If it's an automobile sector with a dealer segment, okay, or if it's a client with a franchisee model, we understand that the goal for the OEMs or the companies, different goals for the dealers are different. We understand their requirement, their annual turnover that they expect. Then we give them an annual budget ad spends to be done, and out of that ad spends we plan outdoor media planning. Then in that media, again, city-wise, time-wise, area-wise, we give them the strategy. Now here, we just don't give them static media or above-the-line activity like a hoarding or a bus stop or something. We also give them curated events. So when you have a branding happening, a holistic thing, then you have a customer engagement activation happening on the ground, and then you are mapping it with the salesperson or the dealer level, then you are doing a complete justice to that spending. We got into a niche category of doing curated events. So how this so every event is an expense to the client. So like putting up a chair or music or calling MC or then calling their guest, but the guest list all from the client side. Here we said we will also provide you guest list. Okay. Potential buyers for your product category. Correct. If it's a builder, it's then a builder potential category, or a jeweler, or a automobile sector, or a bank. So we went and spoke to few of the brands, and then we realized, okay, we got an opportunity to work with Audi at that point of time through dealers. Okay, So they were a premium luxury brand over there. So when they needed customers, we used to go to the nearest branch of a bank and say, आपके पास अगर 50 crores and above के HNI customers हैं, so उनके लिए we can give you experience. And Audi needs that kind of customers to come and visit their showrooms or their thing for. So they would do some activation over there. So that activity really gave good results. So we were bringing value to the table in our strategy and not just the price.
The price, okay. So you're bringing like the whole, so they will not have to go to anyone else because you're putting everything under one roof and taking care of end-to-end needs.
Yes. So if the budget of spending for the month is about 10 lakhs, we would give them 10 to 12 activities for 20 lakhs. They would then cut short and make it, okay, say this works for us. Then if that works for them, we repeat that activity again in the next season or next month.
Okay.
So we have evolved over a period of time with all the premium luxury car brands and ultra HNI customers who cater to similar competition brand like high net worth jewelry brands or those kind of stuff.
Okay, very nice. And because you've been a seasoned entrepreneur yourself, been through so many things. A small advice for a budding entrepreneur, someone who's coming new to the market, what would you want to tell them?
The first thing is your soul journey is different. So you are not here to compete with anyone. Okay. Secondly, don't live life of approvals. You have to first decide what is your potential and where you can reach, how best version of yourself you can be, and keep doing it. My dad used to say कि नदी की तरह बहते जाओ कि कचरा खुद ब खुद किनारा हो जाएगा. So don't stop traveling. Don't stop doing what you're doing and what you're good at. And every sixth day or on a Saturday, take 1 hour time and understand what you did from Monday to Friday. And it is not always about CTCs, and it is not always about what your contemporaries are doing. It is not about how many people are giving you likes or subscription. It is mainly about if your content is good, the right people will come. It's said in the third eye ka ek Buddhist saying, if the time is right, the master will appear.
Correct.
So yeah, so that way, आप वो चीज करो, stay the course.
Be consistent.
Yeah, be consistent all the time.
Now, Srinivasan, as we come towards the end of the podcast, if somebody wants to reach out to you, let's say, Ferraris are watching you right now, then how can they get in touch with you?
If a bigger brand, if a brand like Ferrari or Lamborghini, we have done work for them through dealers also.
Wow,
amazing. But that is one-off work, not a regular one. So if they are looking out, so Adya Creation provides you, I would not always use the word one-stop solution, but we would guide you where your money is being put. Even if you have deep pocket, it doesn't mean you need to spend it everywhere.
Right.
So if you are getting assured return of investment, then that is better. I can give you an example on that, if I may. There was a builder in Matunga, which was into redevelopment, and he had a budget of 1 crore. Everybody gave him a lot of hoardings and a lot of other mediums. We went to him and said, you have to book 8 to 10 units, which is costing XYZ. Sai and Matunga put up 6 bus shelters, which will cost you 6 lakh rupees. So against 1 crore, we gave him a 6 lakh plan, and he sold his entire flat within a month.
Oh.
So
I mean, where you're talking about 1 crore rupees and where you're 6 lakhs.
At the end of the day, don't burn out money because these are regular investors who want to be in India. So we have the responsibility to ensure and give us they are consistently here.
Yeah, but how can they reach you? What's the best way to reaching out to you?
We have www.adyacreation.com website and an Instagram which we just opened up.
And I think LinkedIn you're working on.
LinkedIn we are working on. Yeah. Now we're getting into a digital space. Okay. So we can assure them branding activity along with sales at the dealer level and also experience for their customers to our curated events. Okay. That is what we specialize in. Okay. We have been consistently doing over 120 curated events every month.
Okay.
Every year.
Let me ask you this. So if I have to ask you, tell me Adya Creation Services in 30 seconds.
We are a specialized outdoor advertising agency dealing in hoardings, buses, malls, airport, societies, corporate parks, strategizing their outdoor spends, buying, okay, and product positioning with competition analysis during curated events for the purpose that is known to them. Either could be an IPO or could be a market share.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful. I appreciate you being part of today's podcast, Srinivasan, and I really hope that Adya Creation gets the visibility that you're looking for through the digital media that you have done with us today. And for you, my audience, I hope that you have enjoyed today's podcast, learning about outdoor advertising and how he has made his company stand out even during the time of COVID. We have spoken about how you can go to him for getting your ads on trains, on billboards, static ads, digital ads. If you're a dealer for any of these major brands, you can work with him, and you can find all his details in the description below. Make sure to share this with your friends and family, and soon you're going to be seeing Kabir Wani on one of the billboards. That's my promise to you. Until next time.
This isn't just a podcast, it's a catalyst, a space where your business story can become someone's turning point. I'm Kabir, and this is the Kabir Vani Business Edition. Your voice, your impact forever.